Hey there, everybody. Meteorologist Sarah Gannon here with a quick update for you as we track out an active late week here and especially heading into this weekend. So kind of back-to-back systems on the way here tonight, looking at a chance for some rain showers, maybe even some mixing possible to happen overnight. We're also looking at some strong winds and a major winter storm system to impact portions of northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. So let's take a look at future track radar as we track this first system, looking to bring some rain showers and maybe a little wintry mix later on tonight. So notice here where we have some of those darker greens west of the I-35 corridor. I think that's where we're starting to see some of those rain showers kind of populate and move through the area. So heading into this evening, we'll continue to look at that chance for some off and on rain showers and maybe even some minor mixing possible. That would be later after about the midnight hour here tonight. So evening, I think rain will be our main precip type. We'll actually be looking at temperatures maybe trending just a tad warmer heading into the next few hours. But a very active late week as we track first alert days on the way for Friday. We have a first alert day for the morning hours from midnight until noontime. During this time frame, we will have a high wind warning. So we're looking at wind gusts of 45 to potentially upwards of 60 miles time frame. Then we head into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, looking at first alert days due to this major winter storm that we're looking at. Heavy snow likely for the area. Those forecast total numbers that we could be looking at in terms of amounts when all is said and done. Looking at our current wind alert here, we do have that high wind warning for all of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. This will take effect at midnight tonight, extending through 10 a.m. on Friday. Again, during this time frame, we could be looking at wind gusts, especially during those early morning hours through that morning commute, upwards of 45 to 60 miles per hour here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. So use some extra caution. Morning commute, and if you're doing any late night driving tonight, but especially tomorrow morning. Then we look ahead to the weekend where we track our major winter storm system, a winter storm watch in place for much of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. This will be in effect from Saturday evening through Monday afternoon, and expecting to see this upgraded to a winter storm warning here in the next day or so. So more updates to come here with the system. We'll talk more about that in your first alert forecast later on in the broadcast. Midwest Access. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Midwest Access. I'm meteorologist Sarah Gannon. We are gearing up for a little bit of some later on tonight, but main focus is going to be into Friday for high winds and this weekend with a major winter storm system on the way. We have first alert days in place for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tonight, though, keeping an eye on this first system ahead of all of that activity on the way here for the late week. Let's take a look here at future track radar. You can see green kind of dominating the radar map here. So we have a chance mainly at rainfall here tonight. Not a lot is expected, maybe upwards of a tenth or two on the higher side for totals, but we may even see some mixing later on tonight. So that could lead to a few slick spots on those roads for that Friday morning commute. So just use some caution. This is, again, a look at what future track radar is showing here at this hour. In terms of timing, heading into tonight, again, we'll see kind of some stray rain showers here for the next couple of hours here for the evening commute. Later on tonight, though, maybe some stray to isolated rain showers are possible. Again, I think rain will stay the dominant precip type. We may still see some of those rain showers kind of lingering into after the overnight or after midnight, but kind of putting that into more of a possibility of seeing some mixing. We may see a few snow showers kind of sneaking in there, mixing in as well. So a better chance for any mixing to happen after midnight tonight. Then we look ahead to our alert days. Friday morning, first off, looking at wind being the main concern. We'll be looking at that first alert day in place from midnight until noon tomorrow. Wind gusts of 45 to 60 miles per hour are possible here with this first alert day for Friday. More first alert days Saturday and Sunday in store for this weekend. A major winter storm moving through the area. Heavy snowfall looking likely. This is a system where it's better to kind of hunker down for this weekend and make sure you're making those travel adjustments here at this time. Looking at this wind advisory, we have that high wind warning for all of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa from midnight until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Again, we could be looking at winds gusting upwards of 45 to 60 miles per hour here as we head into those overnight hours and especially into early tomorrow morning. So use some extra caution when it comes to that morning commute. Then we move ahead to this weekend. Winter storm watch in place for all counties highlighted in blue. So much of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, even into portions of western Wisconsin. This will be in place from Saturday evening through Monday afternoon, and expecting to see this upgraded to a winter storm warning here probably in the next hours. Let's take a look at some potential snowfall amounts, still fine-tuning that snowfall forecast, but this is a look at the probability of seeing at least 6+ inches high over much of southern Minnesota, portions of northern Iowa, maybe seeing a chance at that. Let's take a look now of seeing at least 12 inches, so nearly a foot of snow may be possible here by the end of this weekend. This will be a significant snowfall event for us here, probably the most significant snowfall system of this season. So first alert days again in place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Temperatures take a bit of a dip early next week, but we're back into the 50s here by next weekend. So again, this weekend, use some extra caution, make those travel adjustments and adjust those travel plans, as this is a significant system impacting portions of the upper Midwest. Let's look at your first alert weather. Hey everybody, meteorologist Sarah Gannon here. One final look at your snowfall potential for this upcoming weekend. This will be a significant system here for the area this weekend. Significant snowfall possible here in southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. This is taking a look at 12 inches of snowfall right here in southeast Minnesota, north Iowa. We could be looking at about a 50 to 70% chance of seeing at least a foot of snow in the area. So again, prepare for significant travel impacts here this weekend. Make plans and make travel adjustments here for this weekend if you do have any travel plans. We'll have first alert days in place all weekend long. Nick is up next with that forecast update.
Mr. Mayor.
And we have a series of first alert days ahead for Friday and this weekend. Wind and snow, the main concerns. I have more on those first alert details coming up.
Your first local late news from your trusted news leader. This is KTTC News at 9 on Fox.
First alert days are ahead for our area. High winds and then potential for what could be a major winter storm. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Olivia Prunzinski, joined by meteorologist Sarah Gannon. Sarah, what do we need to know?
Well, the biggest thing here is we're tracking some very high winds on the way for Friday, some major winter storm system on the way this weekend. Tonight, active weather as well as we track some rain showers. I've heard a couple reports of even a few snowflakes out there earlier this evening as well. So far, no issues when it comes to road conditions based on what I'm seeing off of Minnesota 511, Iowa 511 here tonight. So that's some good news there. Rain is expected to be our dominant precip type here for tonight. More of a nuisance event. The major system comes this weekend where we'll see some significant travel impacts for the area. So still watching some rain showers here as we head into the next few hours when it comes to timing tonight. Through about midnight, 1 a.m. we'll see those rain showers kind of as the dominant precip type. Some mixing possible after midnight, extending in that early morning commute where we could maybe even be looking at potentially a few snowflakes to sneak in there as well. So do watch out for a few slick spots heading into the overnight and early tomorrow morning. But wind then becomes the main concern heading into tomorrow. We do have a high wind warning for all of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa from midnight until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that's why we have a first alert day ahead for Friday with wind gusts approaching 60 miles per hour at times. Then we look ahead to this weekend where we have a major winter storm system on the way. Heavy snowfall looking likely for us here, mainly on Sunday here, but snow possible Saturday night into Sunday.
And we know you're tracking it closely for us, Sarah. Thank you.
And I have the first alert to wind and snow, even some rain that's on the way here from tonight through this weekend. Tomorrow, looking at a first alert day due to strong winds with gusts 45 miles per hour, upwards of 60 miles per hour during the overnight and into our Friday morning. I'll talk more about that snowfall that's on the way here for this weekend with our major winter storm system on the way. More first alert days are ahead for the weekend. All of those forecast details are ahead in just a couple minutes. We are tracking an active late week and especially this weekend, and we're even looking at some active weather out there right now. So let's take a look at your future track radar. We've been watching some rain showers here moving in and out throughout the evening. We'll see a little bit more of this here over the next couple of hours, but for the most part, just rain as the dominant precip type. Staying straight isolated in manner here for tonight. I did even see a couple of reports earlier this evening of a couple snowflakes kind of sneaking in there as well. So better chance for rainfall through about midnight, 1 a.m. tonight, and then we'll gradually see a little bit more mixing heading into the overnight. That's possible. I do think rain, though, should stay the dominant precip type. But again, seeing a few snowflakes, some minor mixing possible overnight into that very early morning commute is possible. Do watch out for a couple slick spots just in case. Then we move ahead to our alert days, and we will see an alert day Friday morning, not necessarily because of that mixing potential. Wind will be the big concern. From midnight until noon, we're looking at that first alert day for Friday. We're looking at wind gusts anywhere from 45 to 60 miles per hour. Heading into this weekend, more alert days on the way. We're tracking a major winter storm system with heavy snow likely for the area. So let's first talk about this high wind. We have a high wind warning for all areas highlighted in yellow. This is all of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. This will be in effect from midnight until 10 a.m. on Friday. During this time frame, we're looking at wind gusts upwards of 45 to 60 miles per hour, even possible there. So again, all through that morning commute and into mid-morning tomorrow, looking at very strong wind gusts here for the area. So let's talk about the daytime hours. Again, we have that alert day in place for the morning. Temperatures should stay right around that freezing mark, so lower 30s. We'll see quiet sky conditions once our wintry mix system pushes through by that morning commute tomorrow morning. It'll be the wind. That's the main cause, the main problem here for the area tomorrow morning. Then we focus into the weekend. So Friday afternoon, we're quiet. Saturday morning, we're quiet. Saturday night into Sunday, maybe even lingering into Monday there, we have that winter storm potential. So right now, National Weather Service has southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, even portions of Wisconsin in this winter storm watch. This will be in effect from Saturday evening until Monday afternoon. And looking at our winter storm potential, we have a high chance of seeing a winter storm impacting southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. And notice how it continues further off to our east into Wisconsin, Michigan area. And notice here the pink here. This is where we have a potential of heavy snow, which is likely for the area, but we could potentially be looking at totals of 10 plus inches possible in the area. So looking at the probability of seeing at least 12 inches, so about a foot of snow, we're looking at a likely chance here in the purple. That's about a 50 to 70% chance of seeing about a foot of snowfall. Further off to the east in the pink, that's an 80% chance of seeing at least a foot of snow. So maybe some of those higher totals staying off to our east. However, we do have an area of uncertainty from I-90 south. And the thing is going to be, we could be looking at some possible mixing on the southern edge of this storm system, and that will play a big role in those snowfall amounts. But again, if we see any changes, any slight shifting in that storm track, that could change where we see that uncertainty maybe lining up, that mixing potential. But again, with that mixing possibility in that area of uncertainty, sharp cutoffs for snow totals is possible as well. So let's quick talk about our snowfall timing. Expecting to see some light snow initially just around the dinner time hour of Saturday. So 6, 7 o'clock, seeing that starting up. We'll look to see snowfall becoming a bit more intense, moderate, heading into the overnight hours and into early Sunday morning. But notice here as we move into Sunday morning through about the lunch hour, about 7 a.m. to noon, this is when we'll see our heaviest snowfall in the area. We could be looking at snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour during that time frame, and this is what we expect to see our the bulk of that snowfall falling. Roughly about 5 to 8 inches of snowfall could be possible. Snowfall amounts or snowfall intensity getting lighter as the day continues. So 7-day forecast for the Mankato area, keeping a very close eye on the wind and snow here for this upcoming weekend. 10-day forecast for the Rochester area. Watching those first alert days here the next 3 days. Chilly early next week, but we redeem ourselves and we get some 50s by next weekend.
Thinking about those 50-degree days is what's going to help me get through these next couple.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Thanks, Sarah. We'll be right back.
We are looking at rain showers out there right now this evening, tracking strong winds for Friday. And then we track our major winter storm system here this weekend. A plethora of first alert days on track here for the next few days. Tomorrow, also one of those first alert days due to those strong winds. We're tracking gusts of 45 to 60 miles per hour. More on those first alert days are ahead. And we are tracking everything from strong winds to rain showers, even a major winter storm system here in the next 96 hours. We'll talk more about all those forecast details in your first alert weather next.
Your first local late news from your trusted news leader. This is KTTC News at 9 on Fox.
Thank you for sticking with us. We are tracking high winds and then what has the potential to be a major winter storm these next couple of days.
Yes, we are looking at a series of first alert days ahead due to wind and that major winter storm system. Tonight, we have a few rain showers outside. So if you've stepped outside, you maybe noticed a few of those raindrops out there right now. Looking more isolated here for this evening, especially a little bit more consistent towards northern Iowa here at this point in time. So future track radar showing some of those rain showers out there. We may even potentially see a little bit of some mixing later on tonight after midnight, potentially lingering, wrapping just before that morning commute here for your Friday. So keep an eye out if you are doing any late night, early morning driving. Watch out for a couple slick spots there tomorrow, but I do think rain should stay the dominant precip type. Then we look ahead to tomorrow, first alert day in place, high wind warning for all of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa from midnight until 10 a.m. We do have that first alert day extending through about noontime, and that's because those winds, we could be seeing gusts of 45 to upwards of 60 miles per hour here with tomorrow's system. Then we're keeping a very close eye on this weekend. More alert days ahead Saturday and Sunday due to that major winter storm system. Heavy snowfall is likely, and we have a pretty good chance of seeing potentially upwards of maybe 10 plus inches. We're still fine tuning a lot of that snowfall forecast here, but we'll take a look at some of those model runs as what we could potentially be looking at here by the end of the weekend.
Lots to keep an eye on. Thank you, Sarah.
And I have the first alert to some very high winds on the way for our Friday, plus a first alert, a set of first alert days on tap for this weekend as we track a major winter storm system. Right now, we do have a winter storm watch for all of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa from Saturday evening until Monday afternoon, expecting to see this upgraded to a winter storm warning in the next 24 to 36 hours. The latest on what we know with this weekend wintry system and our rain here this evening, plus wind for tomorrow. That's all ahead in your first alert weather. Next. We have been keeping an eye on a lot here in the coming days. Tonight, tracking some rain showers out there, maybe some minor mixing. High winds on the way for Friday, and then we look ahead to the weekend with that major winter storm system. So here this evening, we are tracking a few rain showers out there, isolated in manner, more so concentrated south of I-90. So do watch out for some sprinkles and some light rain showers out there tonight. I expect rain to stay the dominant precip type. However, after midnight, we could be looking at a few snowflakes, some minor mixing into there as well for the overnight. Most of this should be out of here by about 4 or 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So do watch out for a few slick spots on those roads. However, wind will be the big talking point for Friday. First alert days are ahead for Friday morning. So we'll see this alert day in effect from midnight until noon tomorrow with wind gusts upwards of 45 to 60 miles per hour. The weekend, of course, featuring that major winter storm system. So Saturday and Sunday, both are alert days. Heavy snowfall is looking likely. Let's talk about some of those wind speeds at this point in time. We have a gust upwards of about 39, 40 miles per hour in Rochester, 22 in Mankato, 35 in Mason City. Notice off to the west, Aberdeen, South Dakota, 64 miles per hour as a reported wind gust right now. Pierre, South Dakota, 71 miles per hour. So that's what's in store for us later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. High wind warning in place for all of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa from midnight until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And again, this is where we're going to be seeing that potential for wind gusts upwards of 60, maybe plus miles per hour. Again, you saw that 71 mile per hour gust in South Dakota. Notice here overnight into that morning commute, gusts upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour is possible. So use extra caution on those roadways. Campers, high profile vehicles should be parking it here tonight and into tomorrow for safest travel. Looking ahead now to the weekend, we have this winter storm watch in place for all of southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, even into Wisconsin. This is in effect from Saturday evening until Monday afternoon. I'm expecting this watch to be upgraded in the next 24 to 36 hours, likely to become a winter storm warning. We have a high potential of seeing a winter storm across southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, into Wisconsin and even Michigan. Heavy snowfall likely, 10 plus inches of snowfall may be possible across the local viewing area. Let's take a look at the snow probability of seeing at least 12 inches of snow, so nearly a foot of snow possible in some locations here. We have the likely category here in the purple. That's about a 50 to 70% chance over much of southern Minnesota and even stretching into portions of northern Iowa. Higher likelihood of an 80% chance or higher towards the Wisconsin side of things, but maybe even sneaking into Wabasha and Goodhue County here. So we do have an area of uncertainty, though. I-90 and south, we could be looking at some mixing possible, and with that, some sharp cutoffs possible as well. So there are still some question marks in terms of how that mixing may play a role and how much or how little snowfall amounts are, but expect this to be still a bit of a fluid situation here in the next 24 to 36 hours as we really fine-tune this system. Let's talk about snowfall timing. quick. We'll see the system arriving later Saturday night. So after about 6-7 o'clock in the evening. Starting off as light snow, intensity increasing overnight and especially into Sunday morning. Heaviest snowfall between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. Snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour is possible. That's when we'll likely pick up the bulk of our snowfall here with this system. 7-day forecast for the Mankato area active here through this weekend. Quieter next week. 10-day forecast for the Rochester area. First alert days Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Chilly early next week. We redeem ourselves, though, some sunshine and some 50s by next weekend.
All right, thanks, Sarah. We'll be right back.
Here's one more look at that 10-day forecast. We have first alert days in place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, due to high winds gusting upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour. Then we have a major winter storm Saturday night into Sunday. We could be looking easily at maybe 10 plus inches of snowfall. Very quiet early next week, 50s by next weekend with some sunshine.
Hoping things don't get too bad this weekend.
Fingers
Hoping
crossed.
for a calm weekend.